Welcome to the first module in our series, AI and the Future of Talent Acquisition. Over the next 30 minutes, we will conduct a critical diagnosis of the traditional hiring process. This is not a theoretical exercise. It is a forensic analysis of a system in crisis, a system where the sheer volume of human capital has overwhelmed human capacity to evaluate it fairly or effectively. We begin by understanding the why, the profound operational, psychological, and ethical failures that made the adoption of artificial intelligence in resume screening not just an innovation, but a necessity for competitive survival.
Let's begin with a scenario that defines the modern recruiter's dilemma. A compelling job posting for a mid-level marketing role goes live on a company's career page and LinkedIn. Within 48 hours, the recruiter responsible has 250 applications. Industry research, including eye-tracking studies, confirms that a human recruiter will spend, on average, 6 to 7 seconds on an initial resume screen. This is not a judgment on their diligence. It is a mathematical reality of workload. 6 seconds to decide if a candidate's lifetime of education, experience, and potential merits a 15-minute phone call. Let's do the math for a single role. 250 applications times 6 seconds equal to 25 minutes of pure focused scanning. Now, scale this to a quarterly hiring goal of 50 positions. That's over 208 hours of high-concentration, repetitive screening work. This is an untenable cognitive load, leading directly to decision fatigue, a well-documented psychological phenomenon where the quality of decisions deteriorates after a long session of decision-making. Research confirms this manifests in hiring as temporal bias. Identical resumes submitted in the morning receive more favorable reviews than those submitted in the afternoon. The quality of the candidate is constant. The quality of the human evaluator's judgment is not. This inconsistency is the first major crack in the foundation. Beyond fatigue, we confront the most pernicious flaw, unconscious human bias. Decades of field experiments, like the seminal 2004 study by Bertrand and Mullainathan, deliver an uncomfortable truth. Identical resumes receive significantly different callback rates based solely on the name at the top. Resumes with white-sounding names, Emily Walsh or Greg Baker, received 50% more callbacks than those with black-sounding names, Lakeisha Washington or Jamal Jones. Similar biases exist for gender, with male names often favored for technical or leadership roles, and for educational pedigree, where prestige of institution can overshadow actual skill. These biases are not necessarily malicious. They are the product of ingrained societal patterns and cognitive shortcuts. But in a hiring context, they are catastrophic, systematically filtering out qualified talent and homogenizing the workforce. In an attempt to manage scale, companies for years have relied on applicant tracking systems, ATS. However, these first-generation digital tools introduced a new kind of failure, semantic blindness. Most ATS function as advanced keyword search engines. They are rigid and literal. If a job description lists project management as a requirement, but a candidate's resume details orchestrating cross-functional initiatives from conception to delivery, the system often sees a mismatch. It lacks the ability to understand that these phrases describe equivalent competencies. Studies suggest up to 75% of qualified applicants are filtered out at this stage due to keyword mismatch alone. The system isn't identifying a lack of skill, it's identifying a lack of synonym use. The collective impact of these failures is a multifaceted business crisis, the talent loss. Qualified, diverse candidates are eliminated before a human ever sees their profile. Companies are literally rejecting their future top performers. The cost inflation. Recruiters spend the majority of their time on low-value administrative sorting rather than high-value engagement, assessment, and relationship building. The cost per hire remains unnecessarily high. The speed deficit. A slow hiring process is a competitive disadvantage. Top-tier candidates, especially in high-demand fields, are off the market in 10 days. A process that takes weeks guarantees you are hiring from a diminished pool. The diversity AMP. Innovation penalty. Homogeneous hiring leads to homogeneous thinking, stifling innovation and limiting market perspective. For decades, this was accepted as the immutable cost of doing business. But the confluence of 3 factors created a breaking point. The explosion of digital applications, making 250 applications per role a low estimate, heightened social and regulatory focus on equitable hiring, and an intensely competitive global talent market. The old model wasn't just inefficient, it became a strategic liability. The business case for a new approach became undeniable. The core question shifted from how do we help our recruiters screen faster to how do we fundamentally re-engineer the initial gatekeeping function to be consistent, unbiased, and capable of finding true potential? This was the vacuum into which artificial intelligence stepped. The promise was not merely automation, but augmentation, a system that could read with superhuman speed, learn the semantic meaning of skills and roles, and apply consistent logic to every single candidate, 24 hours a day, without fatigue. It offered a path to replace the flawed 6-second scan with a millisecond analysis that could actually comprehend a candidate's profile. However, as we will explore, this powerful new tool came with its own profound risks and responsibilities. The journey to fix a broken system would require navigating a minefield of ethical pitfalls, starting with a now infamous case study from one of the world's most tech companies. In summary, the traditional human-centric hiring model fractured under the weight of volume, inconsistency, and inherent bias. Legacy digital tools like keyword ATS only added a layer of rigid inefficiency. The result was a process that was slow, costly, unfair, and detrimental to building a competitive, innovative workforce. The stage was set for an algorithmic revolution. In our next module, we will dissect the mechanics of this new AI-powered gatekeeper. We will explore how natural language processing and machine learning work, and we will critically analyze pioneering case studies, both catastrophic failures and transformative successes, to understand what separates ethical, effective AI screening from a dangerous, automated bias machine. Welcome back. Having established the critical failures of the past, we now enter the engine room of the AI hiring revolution. This module is dedicated to the how. We will move beyond the black box to understand the precise technical steps an AI takes to evaluate a resume. Then, we will apply this knowledge through a detailed comparative analysis of 4 landmark implementations. We will study a famous failure to understand the core risk and 3 distinct successes to blueprint the path forward. By the end, you will be able to distinguish between a sophisticated ethical AI screening system and a dangerous automated proxy for human bias. Modern AI resume screening is not a single action, but a sophisticated multi-stage data pipeline. Let's deconstruct it. The AI's first task is to make sense of unstructured data. It uses computer vision and NLP to convert any resume format, PDF, Word, even image files, into structured, categorized data. It identifies and tags entities, name, contact info, job titles, companies, dates, skills, Python, budget management, and education. This stage is about data hygiene, creating a clean, standardized profile from a creatively formatted document. This is the core of intelligence. The system uses natural language processing, NLP models, like BERT or GPT, trained on vast corpora of text. These models understand context and synonymy. They don't just see words, they see meaning. The AI converts both the job description and the candidate's past profile into high-dimensional mathematical vectors called embeddings. In this vector space, semantically similar concepts are located near each other. For instance, the vectors for project management, orchestrating initiatives, and leading deliverables will be closely clustered. This allows the AI to see a match humans might miss. Here, machine learning models, often complex neural networks, go to work. They have been trained on historical data of successful hires, ideally carefully curated and debiased data. The model takes the candidate's embedding and the job's embedding, along with other weighted factors, years of experience, skill proficiency levels, and calculates a compatibility score. This is a predictive inference. Based on patterns seen in our top performers, this candidate has an 87% probability of being a strong fit. Candidates are ranked by their score. Advanced systems provide explainable AI, XAI outputs, highlighting why a candidate scored well. Strong match on leadership verbs and agile methodology keywords, direct industry experience present. This ranked, annotated shortlist is then delivered to the human recruiter, transforming their role from scanner to strategic evaluator. This technical prowess, however, is neutral. Its morality is determined by its training data. This brings us to our pivotal case study, Amazon's failed experiment, 2014 to 2017. Amazon's goal was laudable: create an AI to objectively rank candidates from 1 to 5 stars. The fatal error was the training data, 10 years of historical resumes and hiring decisions. The AI did exactly what it was designed to do. It identified the patterns of a successful Amazon tech hire from 2004 to 2014, a profile overwhelmingly male. It learned to penalize markers associated with women, like the word women's in captain of women's chess team. Engineers tried to manually neutralize these specific terms, but the AI, like water finding cracks, would find other proxies, certain verbs, university clubs, stylistic patterns. The core lesson is immutable. Garbage in, garbage out. An AI trained on biased historical outcomes will systematize and accelerate that bias. Amazon's key decision was to scrap the tool, acknowledging the fundamental, uncorrectable flaw in its foundation. Learning from this, forward-thinking companies built AI screening with ethics as the cornerstone. Let's analyze 3 blueprints for success. Case Study 1. MasterCard. The De-biasing Blueprint. MasterCard's partnership with Phenom focused on removing demographic data from the initial screen entirely. The mechanic. They implemented gamified cognitive assessments. Candidates play neuroscience-informed puzzles that measure problem-solving, numerical reasoning, and attention. Crucially, the system collects 0 demographic data. It doesn't know your name, gender, age, or school. It only knows your cognitive performance profile. The strategic insight. This approach severs the link between the screening stage and historical bias. It evaluates pure job-relevant capability. As Michael Fraccaro, Chief People Officer, stated, it helps reduce the risk of unconscious bias. The results were powerful. Interview scheduling within 24 hours, an 87% recruiter productivity boost, and a 900% growth in their talent community. Case Study 2. Unilever, the potential unlocking blueprint. Facing 1.8 million annual applications, Unilever took the most radical step, eliminating resumes for entry-level roles. The mechanic, a 2-stage AI process with Pymetrics and HireView. First, candidates complete 12 neuroscience games, measuring traits like risk tolerance and empathy. Second, a recorded AI video interview analyzes communication and problem-solving. The AI compares candidates against a benchmark derived from Unilever's current top performers. The strategic insight. This system evaluates what you could be, not what you've already done. It democratizes access by ignoring pedigree, university names, and focusing on inherent cognitive and behavioral traits correlated with success. The outcomes: hiring cycle slashed from 4 months to 2 weeks, 70,000 hours of recruiter time saved annually, and their most diverse intern cohort ever. Case Study 3. Hilton. The Speed Optimization Blueprint. For high-volume roles in reservations and care, Hilton's problem was competitive speed. The mechanic. They replaced a multi-step 6-week process with a single 15-minute AI video assessment via HireView. The AI analyzes verbal responses for content, clarity, and tone, trained on traits of Hilton's successful customer service employees. The strategic insight. In high-volume hiring, candidate experience and speed are the competitive moat. Hilton's AI delivered a 90% reduction in time to hire, 42 days to 3.6 days, and a stunning candidate Net Promoter Score of 84.9. They proved AI could make hiring not just faster, but better, 18% higher hiring success rate, and more respectful of the candidate's time. These case studies reveal a spectrum of strategic intent, all anchored in ethical design. Amazon teaches the non-negotiable lesson of biased data. MasterCard shows how to architect bias out. Unilever demonstrates how to unlock potential by ignoring traditional credentials. Hilton proves that AI can be the ultimate tool for candidate-centric efficiency. The common thread is intentionality. Successful AI screening is not a plug-and-play software purchase. It is a carefully designed process that aligns technology with a core talent philosophy. Having seen these blueprints, we must now confront the evolving landscape.
Welcome to our concluding module. We have dissected the broken past and the transformative, yet perilous, present of AI in hiring. Now, we must look forward. This session focuses on the powerful headwinds and tailwinds shaping the future, the hardening legal and regulatory environment, the next generation of AI capabilities, and the essential framework for governance that separates responsible innovation from reckless risk-taking. The goal is to equip you not just to adopt AI, but to steward its integration in a way that protects your organization, candidates, and brand.
The era of the AI hiring Wild West is over. The consequences of unethical implementation are no longer theoretical. They are legal, financial, and reputational. Consider the landmark developments, the Workday lawsuit. This case established a critical precedent. The court allowed a lawsuit alleging algorithmic discrimination based on race, age, and disability to proceed, and crucially, indicated that the software vendor, Workday, could be held directly liable, not just the end-user company. This shatters the "we just provide the tool" defense. EOC enforcement and settlements. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is actively pursuing cases, resulting in settlements like the $365,000 payout by a tutoring company whose AI automatically rejected older applicants. The message is clear. Existing civil rights laws, Title VII, ADA, fully apply to algorithmic discrimination. The regulatory wave. The European Union's AI Act classifies employment AI as high risk, mandating rigorous conformity assessments, bias audits, and human oversight. In the US, states like Illinois, AI Video Interview Act, New York, Local Law 144 for bias audits, and California are enacting strict transparency laws. Companies must now disclose AI use in hiring and provide explanations for adverse decisions. This regulatory surge is a direct response to persistent evidence of baked-in bias. Research from institutions like the University of Washington continues to find that even state-of-the-art language models exhibit systematic preferences, favoring white-associated names over black-associated names and male-coded language over female-coded language. The problem is not that AI is racist or sexist. It's that AI is a hyper-efficient pattern replicator. When trained on internet-scale data or historical corporate data, it ingests and reproduces societal and historical inequities. The mirror it holds up to society is brutally honest. Amidst these risks, the technology continues its relentless advance. The future of AI hiring moves far beyond passive resume screening, generative AI for job architecture. AI will dynamically write and de-bias job descriptions. Conversational AI chatbots will become the first point of contact, conducting preliminary screenings via natural text or voice dialogue, available 24/7, and providing instant status updates. This shifts the paradigm from apply and wait to converse and engage. The skills-based revolution. The focus is decisively shifting from credentials to competencies. Platforms like LinkedIn are prioritizing skills over job titles. AI will map skills taxonomies, inferring capabilities from project descriptions and online work, creating dynamic talent graphs. Your verified digital skills portfolio will become more valuable than your degree. Predictive analytics for retention. AI's role will expand downstream. By analyzing patterns in email communication, project contributions, calendar data, and engagement survey responses, systems like those from IBM can predict flight risk with over 95% accuracy. This allows proactive management intervention, mentorship, project assignment, compensation adjustment to retain critical talent before they quit. The rise of agentic AI. The frontier is autonomous recruitment agents. These AIs won't just recommend, they will execute. They will proactively scour the web for passive candidates, send personalized outreach, schedule interviews, and even conduct structured first-round screenings via video or phone, presenting a fully vetted shortlist to a human. This future presents a stark dual imperative for organizations. You must implement AI to compete, for speed, for talent insight, for candidate experience. But you must govern it rigorously to survive, legally, ethically, and reputationally. This governance framework is non-negotiable and must be built in. Actively curate and audit training datasets to ensure they represent the diverse talent pool you seek. Do not blindly use historical data. Regular, independent bias audits. Mandate third-party audits of your AI hiring tools to test for disparate impact across protected characteristics, race, gender, age. New York Law 144 provides a blueprint. Human in the loop. Oversight. Define clear thresholds. AI recommends, humans decide. Complex, borderline, or senior roles must always have human judgment. Maintain a clear escalation path. Prepare to provide compliant explanations to candidates as transparency laws demand. Contractually require vendors to demonstrate their bias mitigation processes, audit results, and compliance with relevant regulations. In conclusion, the AI hiring revolution is a journey on a razor's edge. On one side lies the promise of MasterCard, Unilever, and Hilton, unprecedented efficiency, deeper talent pools, fairer assessments, and enhanced candidate experience. On the other side lies the caution of Amazon and the liability of Workday, automated discrimination at scale, legal liability, and profound brand damage. The technology itself is a powerful amplifier. It will amplify the fairness and insight of a well-designed, governed process just as effectively as it will amplify the bias and inequity of a careless one. Your strategic responsibility is to be the architect of the former. As you move forward, ask these questions. Does our AI strategy start with an ethical framework? Do we have the governance in place to audit and explain our tools? Are we using AI to augment human recruiters into talent advisors rather than replace them? The machines are now integral gatekeepers. Our collective task is to ensure we have taught them and continue to teach them the values of fairness, potential, and respect. The future of your workforce depends on it.